Have you ever wondered why after a hot summer afternoon, you eat a few slices of watermelon, expecting to feel refreshed, yet your legs end up feeling heavier, even swollen? I've heard this story from many of my patients. One gentleman, 72 years old, told me, "Doctor, I love watermelon. I always thought it was cooling and full of water, so it must be good for me. But strangely, every time I eat it, my legs ache and feel tired." That's no coincidence. Watermelon, though sweet and seemingly harmless, has a very high glycemic index, which means the sugar in it rushes straight into your bloodstream, spiking blood sugar almost instantly. For the young, the body can quickly adjust, but after 60, that regulation slows down. Those sharp sugar spikes damage the tiny blood vessels that feed your legs, leaving you with fatigue, heaviness, and swelling. I often remind my patients not everything cool is safe, and not everything natural is harmless. Think of your legs as two small bridges. Every sudden sugar surge is like extra weight pressing down. Over time, those bridges weaken, and one day you realize your steps are no longer as steady as they used to be. Now, have you ever thought that the sweet, crisp red apple, often called the fruit of health, might actually be weighing your legs down? Many of my patients are surprised when I say this. Linda, 66, told me, "Doctor, I eat a red apple every morning. I thought it was good for me, but lately even short walks leave my legs exhausted." The truth is, red apples are rich in fructose. And fructose, unlike other sugars, is processed directly by the liver. After 60, the liver slows down. Extra fructose often turns into fat or uric acid, the very things that make your legs heavier and your joints ache. Have you ever noticed feeling drained after a light snack of fruit instead of energized? That might just be the quiet impact of fructose. I tell my patients red apples aren't the enemy, but too many of them are like carrying an extra bag of sand on already tired legs. Imagine instead walking lightly through the park, no heaviness, no sighs of fatigue. Sometimes simply eating fewer apples or choosing a different kind can help your steps stay strong and steady. And what about grapes? Have you ever sat watching TV popping grape after grape until the bunch was gone? They're sweet, juicy, easy to eat, and that's why so many believe they're harmless. But the truth is different. George, 70, once told me, "Doctor, I love grapes. I eat a few cups every day, but lately my toes ache at night and it's hard to sleep." That's because grapes are loaded with fructose, and in your liver, fructose easily converts into uric acid. When uric acid builds up, it doesn't just make you tired, it settles in your joints, your toes, your ankles, your knees. That's when you feel those sharp, stabbing pains at night, or the stiffness that won't let go. I often remind patients grapes aren't evil, but too many of them invite a hidden guest into your body, one that brings pain. Picture this: instead of rubbing your swollen feet after dinner, you're strolling freely, joints light and pain-free. Sometimes just cutting back 1 cup of grapes a day is enough to let your legs feel calm again. Have you ever thought that some of the foods we love are like a double-edged sword for our health? For many in Asia, durian is called the king of fruits, rich, creamy, with a smell you can't forget. Once you fall for it, it's hard to let go. Anna, 68, once told me, "Doctor, whenever my kids bring durian, I can't resist. But the days after my knees ache and climbing stairs feels heavier." The truth is, durian carries far more calories, sugar, and fat than most fruits. And after 60, when our metabolism slows, those extra calories quickly turn into fat and extra weight. And with every pound gained, your knees bear several times that load. Think of your legs as two pillars holding up a house. The more weight you pile on, the sooner those pillars wear down. I often tell my patients, a bite to enjoy is fine, but making it a daily habit is like quietly adding more bricks on already tired legs. Picture this: you can still savor durian once in a while, but at the same time keep your steps light and comfortable. Sometimes knowing when to stop is the best way to protect your strength as you age. Now let's talk about bananas. They've long been praised as the healthy fruit. We see athletes eating them for quick recovery. But after 60, the story isn't so simple. David, 70, told me, "Doctor, I eat bananas every day to stop cramps, but lately my legs swell and feel heavy when I walk." The truth is, bananas are rich in potassium. That part is great for your heart and muscles, but they're also packed with quick carb sugars that shoot straight into your blood. At an older age, your body can't manage that sugar spike as well. Blood sugar swings cause your body to hold on to water. The result: swollen feet, ankles, and calves that feel heavy. I often compare bananas to a polite guest who talks too loud. At the right moment, they're helpful, but too often too much, and they disturb the peace. A banana in the morning or after light activity is wonderful, but every day after a heavy meal, you may be quietly adding weight to your already tired legs. Imagine this instead: walking without swelling, moving freely and comfortably, just because you learned to eat bananas at the right time in the right way. Sometimes the difference in old age comes down to details that seem so small. Do you remember the last time you had a ripe golden mango, the sweetness filling your mouth? For many, mango feels like a gift of summer, fragrant, delicious, familiar. But after 60, I remind my patients, anything too sweet is like a slow-burning fire. It will eventually cause damage inside. Mango is loaded with natural sugar. When we're young, the body handles it quickly. But with age, sugar from mango causes blood sugar to spike, triggering inflammation throughout the body, especially in the joints and muscles. Martha, 67, once told me, "Doctor, I love mango, but lately after eating it, my knees tingle and my legs feel heavy." Science confirms this. Every blood sugar spike creates more inflammatory chemicals, stiffening joints and weakening muscles. I often say mango is like a dazzling friend, fun in the moment, but if they stay too long, they take away your stability. Imagine instead of rubbing your aching knees after dessert, you walk with ease and strength just by limiting how much mango you eat. Health in old age doesn't mean giving up joy, but keeping joy in balance. And what about dried fruits? Those tiny pieces that seem so harmless may be the sweetest trap of all. Many of my patients tell me they snack on raisins or dates instead of candy, believing it's healthier. Clara, 71, said, "Doctor, I always keep a handful of raisins in my pocket. Whenever I feel bored, I pop a few. But lately my legs feel heavy and tired." The truth is, dried fruits carry a sugar load that's far more concentrated than fresh ones. A small handful can have as much sugar as an entire ripe mango. Once inside your body, that sugar rushes into your bloodstream, thickening your blood and slowing your circulation. And the result, legs that already carry decades of wear feel heavier, stiffer, sometimes even swollen. I often tell my patients dried fruit is like a little flame. It warms you if you light it briefly, but pile on too much wood and it will burn out the balance. A few bites after a light meal can be fine, but if it becomes a daily habit, your body will pay the price. Imagine this instead. Rather than shuffling slowly with aching legs, you take a gentle walk with light steps and a calm mind just by swapping that handful of raisins for a piece of fresh, juicy fruit. Sometimes the secret to health isn't cutting everything out, it's knowing when and how much. Now let's talk about oranges. Have you ever started your morning with a glass of orange juice believing it would make you stronger? Many of my patients do the same. They see oranges as the very symbol of health because of the vitamin C. But then they come back and tell me, "Doctor, why do my knees feel stiff? My joints ache, especially in the mornings." Here's the truth. Along with vitamin C, oranges carry a high amount of citric acid. When you're young, your body can handle it. But after 60, your cartilage and joints grow more sensitive. That acid can quietly fuel inflammation, making knees, ankles, and hips ache even more. I remember Robert, 69, who drank orange juice daily to ward off colds. Eventually, he admitted, "Doctor, my legs feel stiffer every morning and getting up is harder." When he cut back, things improved noticeably. I often say oranges aren't the enemy, but they're not always your best friend either. Picture this: instead of gulping down a big glass each morning, you enjoy a smaller portion, still getting the nutrients without overloading your joints. In old age, health doesn't come from more, but from knowing how to balance so your body feels lighter and calmer. And what about pineapple? So many people tell me they love its sweet, tangy taste, especially in summer. Pineapple is even praised for bromelain, an enzyme said to fight inflammation. But here's the twist: for those of us over 60, this very fruit can sometimes worsen joint pain and blood vessel damage. Helen, 70, once told me, "Doctor, I eat pineapple to help digestion, but the more I eat, the more my legs swell and feel heavy." That's because pineapple is loaded with natural sugars and acids. For an aging body, it spikes blood sugar, quickly damaging the tiny blood vessels that feed your legs and feet. And the acids, they're like salt sprinkled on a wound. They irritate already sensitive joints, making the pain linger. I often remind my patients pineapple isn't bad, but for aging legs, it can feel like carrying an extra stone each day. A few bites once in a while may be fine, but making it a daily habit, especially with arthritis or poor circulation, will eventually take its toll. So imagine this: instead of waking up with swollen, stiff legs, you move with ease simply because you adjusted how often you ate this fruit. Sometimes health in old age isn't about adding more to your plate, but learning what to set aside so your body and your legs can truly rest. And what about green apples? Many people think they're the safe option: crisp, tart, less sweet. Mary, 65, once told me, "Doctor, I eat a green apple every night to keep my figure, but lately my legs cramp at night and my knees feel stiff." The truth is, While green apples are lower in sugar than red ones, they're high in malic acid. For a young body, no problem. But after 60, when tissues are more fragile, that acid can irritate joints leading to stiffness and muscle cramps. Some of my patients even complain of nighttime leg cramps, never realizing that the culprit could be the very apple they thought was safe. I often say green apples are like a polite guest with sharp edges, good in the right moment, but if they visit too often, they leave marks. A little can be refreshing, but too much, especially before bed, may mean a night of cramps and aching knees. Imagine this instead, sleeping through the night without cramps, waking up with muscles that feel loose and rested, all by swapping your bedtime green apple for something gentler. Sometimes the biggest difference in aging comes from the smallest switch. You see, not every fruit is a blessing for old age. Some carry sweetness, but hidden inside are challenges for our legs, our joints, even our hearts. I often tell my patients, at this age, eating isn't just about filling the stomach, it's about feeding peace into every step you take. Each fruit I've mentioned carries a lesson. Too much sweetness spikes your blood sugar. Natural acids can sting like salt in tired joints, and true health isn't about eating more, it's about eating wisely at the right time in the right way. So I want you to ask yourself, where can I begin to change starting today? Maybe it's as simple as skipping that extra slice of mango, waiting on that glass of orange juice, or swapping raisins for fresh berries. These small choices added up can bring big changes. Lighter steps, deeper sleep, a calmer body. If this message resonates with you, share your own experience in the comments. Your story could inspire someone else. And don't forget to subscribe, because on this journey of staying strong after 60, you are not alone. We walk together, one story, one habit, one choice at a time, making old age not just longer but richer, calmer, and stronger.